Okay guys, back again with another video. I really wanted to do a live stream of this video, but it just didn't want to work. I've got a terrible internet provider right now that begins with an F, and the company does. And I'm getting like 0.16 upload meg speed. And so it's terrible. So I got to eventually go back to the company that starts with a C, and they got better speed. It's just that they, raised the prices up, and I have to, kind of wait until I can get better connection before I do another live stream. So I'm sorry, apologize for that. I really wish I could do a live stream for this, but it is what it is. So let's get right on with today's live stream. I wanted to do a video to celebrate the release right now, pre-launch, of my second book in the series of Smart Focus. Okay, now a few months back I released the first book. It's been just under 7 months. It's a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it's done now. I'm ready to move forward. The first book is called Smart Focus, Book 1, How to Stay Smart and Achieve Your Most Important Goals One Step at a Time. This book is about 150 pages long, and it's a very proud moment when this book released. It is available on Kindle for just a few more days, maybe a week. I've discounted this book, the ebook version, to 99 cents in celebration of releasing the second book in the series. It's called Smart Focus Book 2, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. I don't have a physical copy yet. I haven't had time to make the physical copy, but I've been working hard on getting this one done, the digital formatting done. And I've been doing it all on Scrivener, and it's just, it's been a fun process. It's been painstaking because there's so much involved, but it's been a fun process. So Smart Focus Book 2 is now available. Let me take you to what that looks like here on my Kindle 5th generation. Yes, it is a 5th generation. It's an excellent device. It's not a newer one like I'd like to have, but I got it for 20 bucks. Can't really beat that. So Smart Focus Book 1, Smart Focus Book 2. Okay? How to use focus to achieve your most important goals amidst the clutter. That is now available as pre-order for 99 cents. Don't know how long that'll last, but I know launch day is Sunday, June the 25th, so you definitely want to get it before then, so that the price doesn't go up on you. So just make sure you check that out. You can go to ericbeatty.com/smartfocusbook2 for the second book, and you can pre-order it there for 99 cents right off of Amazon. If you go to ericbeatty.com/smartfocusbook1, that will take you to the first book, which is also available as 99 cent discount right now. So now is the best time to get in on some of the action here and on these books that I've created. Really pleased with the way book 2 came out. The formatting and everything looks amazing, looks wonderful. I've worked really hard on that. Kind of used a combination of different formatting techniques that I have learned through the last few months from both Ed Ditto, EDDITTO. He has an awesome book on Amazon about formatting your book in one afternoon. I used some of his advice, and I also used the advice mainly from a wonderful lady on Udemy called Karen Prince. She has got some amazing material on Scrivener and how to navigate the waters of Scrivener. But today we're talking about what these are, and mainly about book 2, but I just wanted to kind of show you what SMART goals were about real quick. And these are my initial SMART goals that I had for the year 2014. And this just goes to show you this stuff is almost pretty much timeless because you can do it every year. I recently started my own SMART goals for this year in my personal planner, and they're turning out very well. I'm a little behind on deadline. I wanted to have this book done by the end of May, I think it was. Instead, it's like the middle of June or end of June when I'm getting it out. Not going to complain about that. I will say that Book 3 will probably be out in the fall or the winter of this year. Good Lord willing, because I need a break. I have been really working hard on these, and my mind is fried. I'm going to get on the ball this week, hopefully, or next week, about getting the print version available. And then I'm really considering doing something special with book 1. Hopefully reformatting it to look even better. And I think the way it works is if you get it on Kindle, you will any updates afterwards, you get notified, and it's available to download again. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I think that is the way it works. So if you buy it today, when the updated version, the newly formatted version comes out, you should be able to receive it. They should notify you. I'm not sure about that, but hopefully that's the way it works. Also going to be updating the print version, so you may want to hold off on the print version of the book for, I don't know, about another few weeks, maybe a month, until I can get that done. But the Kindle version should update itself whenever it's done. So for 99 cents, either way, it's still a good book, whether you get the original formatted version. Before, I learned a lot more about Scrivener. Not that it looks terribly bad or anything like that, but I know a little bit more tricks of the trade and everything about formatting, so you should be able to get that. It's still a great book. So smart focus or smart goals in 2014 mainly was to finish my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials course, and I also did a bunch of updates and everything in the different colors of getting better at playing guitar, recording some setbacks I had, recording some new strategies that I had. And each month, one of the key systems, one of the key, what's the word? One of the key, I don't know what the word is, main points about smart focus and setting some smart goals and focus goals, I'm getting excited, is you're doing quarterly updates. Now, I went over that more specifically in Smart Focus Book 1, because that was kind of the introduction of the series and the introduction of the system and everything. So if you want to learn more about quarterly updates and how to apply those, that is in Book 1. But you'll see here on the corner, every quarter I did an update. Now, the first quarter was, let's say, January to March, all right? So I didn't have to do an update there because the initial beginning of the goal, the initial of writing these down and printing this out was, officially what I was reaching for the next 3 months. Okay, and so the next quarter was started in April. So in April, I sat back down and recorded all of these in that same color. Okay, so that's a dark blue. All the dark blue notes are from that quarter. Very important to do color-coded updates. Really helps out and helps everything stand out. And the brighter of the color, the better, while still readable. For these, I used Pilot pens, and there's also Lay pen, and you can also use Staedtler fine liner, I think they are, 0.3 fine liners. They're different colors. So that's one of the best ways I found to really see what's been working and what hasn't. And bonus, I've got this for years as a guideline to look back to and see where I've come and how far I've come. Okay, so very important thing. So in April, here's some updates, how I'm doing on the course, how I'm doing on the my goals for personal guitar playing. And I could see a pattern as I'm going on. This develops a pattern as the days go by, as the months go by, and into the rest of the year. Certain things start to fall off my radar and seem not to be as important as what they used to be. That's why it's so important to do your updates every 3 months, every quarter. Go back and just do an evaluation. Give yourself a progress report. How am I feeling about this goal? How am I feeling about tackling this? Also, that allows for any goals that crop up along the way, which I call recent goals in the newest book, and we'll get onto that probably here in a little while. That allows those to crop up and give you a chance to think about, should you be pursuing those instead, or should those still be on the back burner? So I wrote some updates in April, and then back in July 2014, I came back for the lighter blue color. All the lighter blue updates is in July quarter updates. And in the final quarter, I came back in October. October, it gave me pretty much enough of a view to see what the rest of the year was going to look like. So I didn't really go back in December, the end of the year, and say, okay, here's where I'm at the end of the year. Because basically, the end of the year is when I do my goals for next year. So that is where I'm at for the end of this year, is going, what do I want to achieve next year? Okay, so that's really helped me personally. Now, today I don't really use SMART goals as much because I have a planner. And so I write down things in my planner that I'd like to achieve, okay? I've also recently purchased a bullet journal, which I do not have in here, and I wish I'd brought it in here now. But I've been working on some different ideas and some different things about, one of the things is the launch strategy for Smart Focus Book 2 here. So I've used my personal planner a lot, and I've mentioned this several times, and I do have that with me. I keep it in my laptop case so that I can whip it out anytime I need to and look at it. And that is a passion planner. It's what I've been using for a couple years. Thankfully, I've got the smaller version. The one I had last time was just huge. And if you like to, do your planning at your desk, I recommend the huge one. But if you're looking for portability, definitely get the compact size. All right. So, for example, some of the goals that I had, instead of writing SMART goals down, I actually had. Now, I'll tell you, I went over this before, but just to give you an idea, I went over some SMART goals that I actually did as a mind map in the program Scalpel from Scrivener, same people that make Scrivener. And I think I might have a link to that, ericbeatty.com/Scalpel, SCAPPLE. I'll have to double check that. But I used Scalpel to make this mind map for my goals for this year, for 2017. And right now I am over in here, right here. This is the layout for my book that I want to work on. So some of my SMART goals this year was to publish my books. The main ones that I have here are, mainly deals with writing my books and getting those released, get those published. And so that's what that was. I think, wrote that down here. Yes, here's what it looks like roughed out. Okay, and then I sat down after I roughed this out and went, okay, how can I put this in a mind map so it can be easier to visualize? So I can go around the clock here, see the steps to take. I've got SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable, time-bound, and realistic. And so I can see these goals. How realistic is this time span, this window, this time-bound window for me to publish my books? How realistic is that? How can I measure that progress? What actions do I need to take? What specifically do I need to do? And that's where you break things down. And that's why this is such a huge section, is because I'm getting more specific. The more specific you get about your goals, the easier it is to achieve them, because you can see it all laid out step by step and the actions that need to be taken. So definitely recommend that. I'm excited about mind mapping so much that I really want to get a course out on mind mapping. It's really changed my life in so many ways. And anytime I have an issue, I sit down and start mind mapping. So there's a mind map there. Later on, I did some a mind map for writing. This is the mind map on how to write and to really push myself in getting it out there. So a lot of this stuff has really been helpful to me. So, for example, this week, this is my planner, so I don't really go by the SMART goals system here now. I actually plugged all that into my planner. So this day I've got something to do. This day I've got something to do, and that day I've got something to do. And this happens to be the week for the launch of book 2. So that's why all this is so full. I've got a little gradual thing here about releasing gradually and not all at once to all my newsletters and social media and all that. I've heard that you get better traction on Amazon, and you get more what they call sticky on Amazon if you just gradually tell people about it and you gradually advertise and stuff like that. And so as I advertise, more people become aware, and the more money I make because of that. And this is, like I said, I'm not going to make much money off this right off the bat. 99 cents, I only get a 35% royalty, so I'm only getting like 35 cents out of that per sale. But in the long run, that's what you got to look for. And when it comes to your goals, in the long run, how's it going to work for you? And this is going to work out great. And I have some Ninja Turtle stickers that I actually got from participating in a NaNoWriMo write-in a year or two ago. And I've kept those ever since for motivation. Whenever I do something awesome, I put those stickers on there to remind me how awesome it was that it was accomplished. So it's good to reward yourself with things like that. Even just a little sticker, I see that, I'm like, yes, I conquered that goal. So that is basically how SMART goals work. Is you write down all those steps: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. SMART. Okay, I think I said those out of order just a minute ago. I may have put those in the wrong order, but that's fine. It's totally good. Let me go to that link real quick and make sure that that link is active. I think I actually put that in there. Hopefully I did. Yes, ericbeatty.com/scapple, SCAPPLE. Amazing mind mapping product. You can also go into ericbeatty.com/mind-mapping, mind mapping, and that will give you a layout of some of the mind mapping tools I recommend. If you don't like Scapple, Scapple is mentioned on there, but there are some others there, and I also mentioned that in Smart Focus Book 2. So Smart Focus Book 1 out of the way now. Those were SMART goals. Today is all about Smart Focus Book 2. Now, what are those based off of? Well, Smart Focus Book 1 was based off of SMART goals, and I've just showed you those. In that same year, I decided to do focus goals. Now, this isn't something I learned from other people. Yes, I've heard of SMART before, and there's different meanings for that acronym. But focus, it was just me figuring out a way to write all this down so that I could keep up with it. For SMART goals, I had one or two goals specifically in mind that I wanted to track, okay? And so that's basically what SMART goals were for. Focus goals helped me track many goals so that I could stay focused on each one and see how they were coming along. So this is a really good, it's kind of like if you're beginning in this goal journey, if you're getting started in it, SMART Focus, I came out with it first because it just seems like a simpler way of doing it, the SMART goals. And then as you get better at managing your goals, maybe you want to spread out. You don't want to start too quickly with like a bunch of different goals. Set one or two goals that you can achieve throughout the year and do the best you can to get those, finished. Then when you're feeling confident, you start seeing this snowball get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the chain reaction happen, and you get better at these goals. Then you try to tackle a little bit more, okay? So you have to be patient. But let me tell you, while you're working on things that matter to you, time just flies by, okay? Before you know it, next year is here. I mean, think about it, guys. It's already June, almost July of 2017. Where has this year gone? I mean, every year it gets faster, it seems like. That's just the way it works. Maybe to you people who are in school, to you kids or something like that, who are in school, maybe that it just seems going by very slowly. I don't know. But as you get older, trust me, it gets faster. So that brings me to focus goals, where I track multiple goals. All right. So my focus goals, what book 2 is about, before I go there, let me share my screen with you, because I want to show you my actual page for Smart Focus, and you can actually see it in color. It would look a lot better. I apologize for not doing this earlier. It will look a lot better for you if you do that. So go ahead and do that. If you go to my main website, ericbeatty.com, okay, the actual official URL for this is ericbeatty.com/smartfocus2 book page. If you put the 1 in there, it will take you to the Smart Focus Book 1 page. But we're concentrating on the 2 page. And what it does is it directs directly, it's my startup page. It's a static page. It goes right to my main URL. And then you have the launch happening in 3 days. And I'm going to hopefully upload this, and it will be, now that I've considered it, the stream is probably going to be ridiculous. Since the stream was terrible, I tried to do this earlier, the upload was awful. So now that I think about it, hopefully I can release this today. I'm going to get really hard working on getting it done today, the video, and getting it up to you so you have plenty of time to pre-order. Okay, so the countdown clock is ticking, taking pre-orders right now. It will launch in 3 days. It was going to launch on the 25th of June. That is Sunday. Here is what the book looks like. Okay, basically I took the same template for Smart Focus Book 1 and went and copied it and rearranged it based on this color scheme. Now, I'll give you a little. No, I don't know how many people will notice this, but you'll notice. Let me see if I can zoom in here. You'll notice that this portion, you can almost faintly see a line here, is blurred. Okay, I put a light blur there so that you could really see that it's getting clearer as you go to the right. Okay, it's getting clearer. You can definitely see the footprints a little bit better. His clothes are standing out better. Okay, and that the whole point of that is everything's cluttered. You've got all this blur in your life, and then as you move towards your goals, things start to clear up. Okay, so amidst the clutter, achieving your most important goals. All right, so here's what it's about. It'll show you how to reclaim your focus even in the amidst the clutter of life's many distractions. I really heavily talk about distractions in this book, and that will be so beneficial to you. Right now, it's available for pre-order from Amazon, and you'll notice the link that pops up down here. Hey, like that. The mouse gets bigger on a Mac if you just shake it. So if you pre-order here, it will take you directly to the Smart Focus book page for this book, the ebook version. Notice it's on a tablet, the ebook version. The print version, paperback, will be coming soon. By the way, I've got this set to pop up. Get a free sneak peek of Smart Focus Book 1. You can put your email here and you get the first book, a sneak peek of that, absolutely free, available on PDF, I think EPUB and Mobi. Okay, so it's like the look inside feature on Amazon, but you get it on your Kindle. You get or your other device. So the other thing that may pop up here is if you have not left a review of Smart Focus Book 1, please do so. Those reviews really, really make a difference, okay? People look at those reviews and see if the book is worth their time. I mean, think about it. When you get on Amazon, don't you look for reviews to make sure before you purchase something it's worth your time? That's what I do. I always go look at reviews. Reviews are the lifeblood of products on Amazon. So if you've read my book, if you get either one of these books, please leave a review. There is a link in the back of each book on how to leave a review. I would really appreciate that. Okay. The good news is, even if you don't have a Kindle, you can download the Kindle app on your smartphone. It'll take you right to the place where you do that, or your computer. You can read it right off your computer. And then it tells you about a few of the resources included in Smart Focus Book 2. You get the Focus Goals template, which I'm going to go over right now here in just a few minutes. This is the new and improved Focus Goals template. It will help you decide which goals have the most positive impact on your life. It will give you a way to stay on track, thus maximizing your results. I also talk about overcoming your fears. Fear is a big obstacle that stands between you and your goals. In this book, I'll show you the strategies and techniques to give you the courage you need to overcome common fears that hold you back from success. I also talk about conquering distractions. I didn't realize how much I went over this until I started editing this book, but it's a big problem in today's society. Digital distractions are everywhere. Facebook notifications, email notifications are some of the worst. All these social notifications that's going on. Your phone is constantly glued to your hand, or you've got a Bluetooth earpiece to your set. There's distractions happening everywhere. Okay, so when I talk about amidst the clutter, by clutter I mean the most common everyday distractions that plague our lives. My book will help you take a more proactive approach to mindless notifications and focus on what really matters most. Finally, achieving your goals. Okay, so these distractions deter us from our goals. They do not help at all. And I specifically talk about and address multitasking as how that really affects our lives in a negative way. You wouldn't believe how many articles have been written on multitasking. I go over that in the book a little bit. Okay, and then as you scroll down, this comes in, complete the series. Do you want to know when the final book in the series will be available, as well as other updates from Eric's blog? Click the button below to get in on his free mailing list. Plus, get a free sample of the first book in the series. That's what this email form is for. Okay, so you can either click it here and it will take you directly to the sign-up form, or click here and it will go to the email confirmation page and tell you how to get that free gift. All right. So, and then it talks a little bit about me, and if you want to continue to the blog, you can do so here, okay? So there is the blog, and this disclaimer is for the mailing list. So if you have any questions about my mailing list, what it's about, you can click on that disclaimer, and it will take you to that. So that's pretty much the second book in the series, and I cannot wait for you to see the cover of the third book. It's going to pop out like neither one of these books have before. So I really hope you would consider checking these books out. Okay, so now let's go back to me here on camera and talk about focus goals, what they are, and how they started and came about. Like I said, SMART goals started in 2014, and at that same time, I was kind of tracking multiple goals. I wanted to go whole hog into this goal setting thing. So what I did was I created SMART goals, like I showed you before. That's what those look like. All right. And the second one, I updated these the same time that I updated the SMART goals. All right. So this is focus goals 2014. Notice the updates are the same: April, July, October. Now the October updates are mostly on the back. I actually had a lot of stuff I wanted to discuss, so I flipped to the back and had a lot of stuff to talk about. So if you want to see my process, how it worked, and how I was getting started, and how excited I was, and like I said, how things tapered off, and I realized that that some of these things really didn't matter as much, or some of these things really mattered more than I thought they did, you can definitely check out the book. The book gives you links on how to access these. There's actually pictures of them in the book that you can look at while you're reading the book. And if you can't zoom in, or if it's too blurry when you zoom in, it'll give you the direct link URL to these pages so that you can go to those and check them out. Okay, so all these goals were based on what I wanted to do, which involved spiritual growth. It involved physical, health, and it involved some big projects. Like the main project was the Bluegrass Guitar Essentials course that I released back in 2015, I think it was. And then some just general ideas of how to get better at goal setting. One of which was eliminating distractions. Some of the 4 keys that I talk about are delegating, streamlining, automating, and then scheduling time off. I really go in depth over these in the book, in part 2, the second book. And then simplifying things, and then one of the most important goals at the very last in the book. I won't spoil it for you, but it's one of the most important goals ever if you want to get better at goal setting. All right, so these were all the updates that I did. All these bullet points, by the way, here have to relate to my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. So these are the things that I still had to get done at this point, and that's a lot. Trust me, that is a lot. And that, all honestly, friends, is why I have not created another course since Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, because all this really drained me. And that's why I have not really uploaded any guitar videos in a long time either. Because for me, it was such a burnout experience that I was so tired of it. And so that's why now I'm taking a break from writing the 3rd book. It's already written, actually. I've just got to, it needs more editing than the other 2 did, because I kind of did some work on the other 2 previously. But this one I haven't really touched at all. It's still in first draft stage. But it's going to take a little bit more editing to get done and get out there. But now that I know what I know how to better direct it, and how it needs to look, how it needs to read, and I know a lot more about it. So I don't expect it to take very long to finally finish it, especially now that I've got the compile settings the way I want them, and I've got them in a preset and Scrivener, and they seem to be perfect. And hopefully all I can do is just put the next book in, engage the preset, and bam, it's gone. It's ready to go as a Mobi file or whatever. So, let's see. I think I kind of lost my train of thought here. I'll just keep going, I guess. I can't remember the point I was going to make on that. But focus goals here. Trying to get all these things done. Oh, I know it was burnout. Okay, that's why I'm taking a break, so I don't burn out completely from writing. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a fun time working on the writers' games. We are actually on our last, as of tonight, 7 o'clock CDT, Central Daylight Time. We're on our last event, and I've done already 7 events, including the practice events. So this will be our official 7th event, and that should be the last one. Been awesome to take part of this. I haven't really ranked. I've got awesome feedback, and I know how to manipulate and edit these stories that I've written to make them better based on that feedback from the judges. And if nothing else, I have another product I can release eventually of short stories as an anthology for everybody out there. So I'm excited about that. So I've been doing a lot of work on that, and that's why I haven't been doing a lot of guitar videos. But that's why I haven't created any guitar products or mini guitar videos at all, because I've just been so burnt out between the guitar, Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, and daily, pretty much almost daily private guitar lessons. I was just like guitar, and it was just driving me crazy. So I had to get some kind of relief from that, and writing has been that relief. Although I don't want writing to become that way. So now what I figured out is what I'm going to do is, now that I've got a break, I'm going to finish the print version of Smart Focus Book 2. I'm going to go and probably reformat Smart Focus Book 1, both Kindle and print. After that's done, actually those are they're priority, but they're not highest priority. Highest priority after the print book of Smart Focus Book 2 is completing my album, okay, my debut album. It's been sitting on the back burner for weeks, months, and most of it is recorded. I've just got to sit myself down and slog through the last part of it. The fun part is getting all the mixing and tweaking it and everything and editing on the computer. The not so fun part is sitting down, recording, messing up, going back, recording, messing up, going back, recording, finally getting it right, next time recording. And so it's a long process, and that kind of drains me too. So I've totally put that on the back burner until the print book now will get compiled, and then I'm going to be focused on that before I even touch the third book, okay? So as I'm doing my album, when I get some spare time, maybe in the evenings, I will be going and reformatting book 1. But just a lot of things happening in the works, and it's awesome because those are what were in my goals in the first place. Those were part of the goals that I've been working towards. So what I've discovered is, so that I won't get burned out. I just learned this yesterday. I mean, you're learning so many things in life as you move forward. And I just learned yesterday, I was so depressed about, man, I really want to do music. I really want to do writing. I've got all these interests. How do I make time for them all? Well, what I'm learning is, as time flies so fast, the point I made earlier is that if I just maybe work on one book, get it done, get it released, that part of me is satiated. It's satisfied. I've had my fix, so to speak. I've had my writing fix. Then I can take a break and work on music stuff. I can create a course, either on guitar or a course on mind mapping. I'd really like to do a course on recording your own album, because that's what I've been working on. I've been messing with, and I'd like to do one. There's really not much of a market that I can find, but I'd like to do it just to be doing it, even though a lot of people say, well, you need to do stuff based on what the market dictates to you. Well, maybe so, but if Stephen King didn't write Carrie just because the market wasn't there for Carrie, then there would be no Stephen King today, okay? So I understand that to a point, but there's a point where you just got to do things because you want to. As Steve Vai, many times, he said that, Passion and Warfare, his first solo album, other than Flexible, he said, I didn't think anybody would like it. I was just doing it because it's a need that I had to get that music out, to see what I could do to just pour it out of my soul and get it recorded, capture that moment. And now Passion and Warfare just recently had its 25th anniversary, and he's had multiple tours over that. He's created a course on it on TrueFire called Alien Guitar Secrets, Passion and Warfare 25th anniversary thing. And that album, I don't know if it's got platinum, gold, whatever. It sold millions of copies, thousands of copies, okay? So the point is, if I take a break from this thing, let's just put a table on the books, okay? So here's the books. Here's the books. I finished the book, put it to the side, table that. I get my guitar out, okay? Right here. I get my guitar out, I start working on guitar stuff. Okay, start working on an album. Work on a song for a week. Work on, some other stuff. Work on a course. Get on Udemy. Start doing some screencasts. And I think by doing that, doing one separate thing at a time, then another one, based on all of my passions. I love to teach when I'm excited about something. I love to play guitar when I can play it, as versus teaching somebody all the time, because then I get a lot out of it, but it's not an experience. I may learn some new things, but it's not It's not the same as when you play a song. Trust me, you musicians out there know what I'm talking about. When I write, I get that writing kick. I mean, I can follow all those passions, just not all of them at once, and not all of them writing. Release a book, release a story, release a book, without feeding the other parts of me that I need, without feeding the guitar part, without feeding the want to learn, teach people the things I've learned through different softwares and different experiences and things like that. So that's one thing I've learned, and it's really excited me. It's got me motivated again to do things and to do more things. And so these are the focus goals that I've been talking about. On the back, I had a page that I could write those for 2014. Like I said, they were based on all different kinds of issues. For me, spiritual issues, health issues, working for bigger projects, issues in general that would help me achieve more, like delegating things, streamlining things. I talk extensively about those. And then on and on. So it's kind of like a wide, broad span of different areas that I talk about in Smart Focus Book 2. And before I forget, this keeps coming back to my mind. I do have a few more guitar videos for electric guitar. I've recently been teaching a student that wants to learn electric guitar, and I had some ideas based on his lessons that I wanted to do some videos on. So I've got 2 or 3 videos on that I will be releasing within the next few weeks. So do stay tuned for that. If you've been salivating for more guitar stuff, I've got some more electric guitar stuff for you. So that leads me to the next iteration of the focus goals. Now here's the first one. And this is so important too. Like I said earlier, one of the most important things is doing quarterly updates, because it keeps you motivated, it keeps you accountable, and it helps you have a bigger picture of how things are working. The other thing is, you've got to start somewhere. If I would have waited until this thing looked perfect and said, oh, this has got to be some big epic masterpiece of something, like the mind maps that I've recently been doing, and kind of like people with bullet journals. They see all these people who have been working on bullet journals for years, and they see all these creative spreads and everything, and they're like, I'll never be able to do that, Well, you have to start somewhere, and you find your own style. You have to start writing your story. Then you find your voice, Start playing guitar. Then you find your way of playing, your style, okay? So that's who you are, all right? Be unique. Be you. Don't try to be somebody else. Be you, all right? And you can only do that by starting the journey, all right? So for me, if I hadn't have started this, number one, I wouldn't have achieved all this stuff that I set out to do. Number two, I wouldn't have been able to find all the problems that I had in the first one and streamline this so that it looks a lot better and it looks a lot more organized, okay? This is my focus goals in 2015. It worked so well in 2014 that I wanted to come back and do it in 2015, okay? So now the template's more organized. It's a lot easier to see. There's room for quarterly updates at the bottom. So you can see where all the quarterly updates are here, all these scattered around. So I've got some of the July updates here, some of the July updates up here, some of them down here. They're disorganized. I know what they say. You might not have a clue. But when you see this and you're like, okay, here's all your quarter one. This is the update you need to write. Quarter two, here's the update you need to write. Quarter three, here's the update you need to write. And it really forces you to kind of contain and limit yourself to what you put on the page, to those things that are most important and will stand out most to you, because that way you don't have a whole nother page to look at, all right? This is all October updates. This is what I really wanted to focus on, and I could see how much I had accomplished this far to let me know, okay, what I want to finish out the rest of this year and what might I potentially want to work on for the next year, okay? So there is no updates whatsoever on this. Now, I will let you know that I didn't really finish this because I think around that time is when I got my first planner. It wasn't a passion planner. It was called an action day planner, which were really good as well. I recommend those too. But since then, it's been planners, and that's what I've been keeping up with. Any kind of goals is planners. But to start out with, or if you've tried planners and they don't work, try this system. Try Smart Focus Book 2. Try Smart Focus Book 1. They're both available for 99 cents. You can't go wrong, okay? You get $2 for 2 books, and they're worth 10 times that much, okay? They're easily worth $20 a piece or more, because these are basically a course on how to set goals per book, stripped down into book form. Okay, you go to speaking engagements and things like that. They'll sell you the whole course, or they'll speak the whole thing for like $1,000, and then you got to buy the book as well. Okay, for 30, 40 bucks. This is $10 in print. The other one's going to be $10 in print, and the ebook is 99 cents. That's a duh right there. Okay, that's a duh. All right, so here's the focus goals. I had some room for 3 goals I allowed myself because I didn't want to overwhelm myself. By this time, I wanted to write, really focus on writing. And 2015 was the year I really hammered it out and got to work on my writing. Cranked out short stories, found some short stories that I'd written years ago and edited those and made them available with my newsletter. One of them has been one of the most popular short stories with, I think, in the thousands of reads, in the tens of thousands of reads actually on Wattpad. You can see them on Wattpad, but you can get them for your Kindle and for your device if you sign up for my my fiction mailing list. And both my nonfiction and my fiction mailing list, another link for that is ericbeatty.com/books. At this point in time, you can see an option. Choose which one you want. If you want the nonfiction, you get the free sample of Smart Focus Book 1. If you want the fiction, you get 2 of my short stories absolutely free that you can download for your device, for your Kindle. It's in PDF and I think Mobi and maybe EPUB. You can read them on Wattpad as well. And on Wattpad, I've garnered like 14 or 20 something thousand views and 900 something votes on one of the stories that's included in that, and that's Blind Date. A lot of people like that romantic comedy type of thing, and it's a short story, but a lot of people like it, and I really enjoyed writing it and getting and editing it to where it sounded better. So writing was goal number 1. My one priority I wanted to do was writing. Okay, the next one was I wanted to work on my guitar newsletter archives, which I've just finally recently done a few months ago. I wanted to streamline my email list. I was really heavy on email lists, which I'm not as into it now as I was. I'm going to try to get back into it a little bit because I know it's so important. But that was goal number 2. Goal number 3, I wanted to do a live Bluegrass Guitar Essentials workshop. That kind of fell through. I got the page and everything ready, but there wasn't enough interest locally for that. And I actually had one more. Number 4, monetize current and past content. My newsletter content, my YouTube videos, different things. Some other things like that. What really stood out to me and what I really chased after that year was writing. At least one of these goals was accomplished. And yes, it's kind of, at first, it gets discouraging. I'll admit, at first it gets discouraging, but as you move on, as you go forward, you realize that all the other stuff that didn't really matter kind of fades away into the background. And that leaves more energy for the back of your mind that was going, man, I really need to work on those other goals. I really got to work on those things. That leaves more energy for it to transfer full force into the main goal that you set your mind to, okay? And so writing for me was it. I joined 2 writing groups. I'm still in both of them. Now 2 years later almost, well, pretty much 2 years later. Still writing. I've just completed my 2nd book. I've got the 3rd book on the way. After that, I'm going to start working on fiction, trying to finish a novel that I've had in the works for years, and I finally finished it, but I haven't gone back and edited it. So I've got to go back and do that. Short stories I've been working on for the writer events, the writers games, those events. So I've been cranking all this stuff out, all because I had a place to start. And these are really what kicked me into high gear, is sitting down, working on my goals. And like I said, don't be afraid to sit down and just start something. Start on a piece of paper. Mind mapping, the easiest way to do that is put your central idea in the middle of a paper, put a circle around it, and start branching off of there. That has helped so many people I've talked to, especially writers in my writers group. I get just about every time I go to the writers group, and we have one once every 2 weeks, somebody mentions, man, I tried that mind mapping and it really helped. It really helped me figure out what I want to do in my plot, how my characters were all integrated together, and all this. And let me tell you, it can work for products, it can work for goals, it can work for just about anything. It really makes a difference when you sketch out on paper. Yes, it's fun to do it in an app like Scapple, But I always start, pretty much always. If it means a lot to me, I'll always start with pencil and paper, pen and paper. Start sketching out. Get a journal, a notebook, a planner that has dedicated blank pages so you can have a place where you can always come to and be creative like that. That's just how I work, okay? A lot of people do that. So this is the first iteration of the SMART goals, the focus goals page that I had. I've got a place here for the next actions I need to take. And what I did was I put goal 1, here's the next 3 actions. Goal 2, here's the next 3 actions. So I'll add about 3 actions per goal. All right? You got plenty of room to do all that. Here's some other commitments that I had just on the side that I wanted to consider. Would they help me achieve my goals? Would they hinder me? How could I work around those things? And in the middle of this grayed out section, to delegate the things I need to let other people do that I do not have time for, that will hold me back from achieving my goals, that I just can't do, I don't want to do, okay? And I talk a lot about delegation in Smart Focus Book 2. All right, how to use focus to achieve your most important goals amidst the clutter. I talk a lot about delegation in there because it's so important in learning how to let go of the reins of things that you love so much and let somebody else take charge of it, okay? It's okay. You can train them. It will be all right? And if it's not all right, don't be afraid to try again, okay? Because that's what we all have to do. We fall down, we get up, we try again. We learn from it, we become better. The next product becomes better. The next book becomes better. We become better, okay? So here's another thing that I actually wrote down here. Let's see here. What is that? Things to stop doing, okay? I actually, after I'd made this one, I wrote down here, okay, I need to include this on the next version of this. Things to stop doing. And then in the last 3 ones here, here's your updates, okay? So for me, I put in the very end of the year, since I didn't fill out this thing completely, and track my goals and put all these updates, what I put on the very end of this was that I finished writing my novel that I'd been working on for years, finally, minus the edits. I finished that. I wrote my goals. I called it at that time Goals ebook because I didn't know what the name was until I finally realized, hey, I'm talking about SMART goals, focus goals. Smart Focus, all right? So that's what I decided to name the series. Yes, it wasn't a keyword that was ranking Amazon. Yes, nobody else come up with that name. It's not something that you'll find naturally on Amazon, but guess what? That was the title that stuck, and that's what I went with. You've got to get yourself out there, So I also wrote another novel for NaNoWriMo, and I won that one, and that one's available on Wattpad as well on my account. Cire Wordsmith, by the way, is my Wattpad name. C-I-R-E Wordsmith. That's just a rearranging of my first name, Eric Cire, and then Wordsmith. It's a name I used years ago when Helium was popular. It's an online article place where you wrote articles. That's the name I used for that. And if you look up Cire Wordsmith on Wattpad, there you'll find my Wattpad page. Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. I launched that on DVD. That was a goal that I accomplished in this year. That was June the 30th, 2015. 2 years ago, almost to the day. All right. I'm saving the workshop for next year. I want to try that next year. Okay, so at the end of the year, I realized here's the things that I need to back off on. Here's the things that are not as important to me right now. But it doesn't mean that I have to eliminate them from my life completely. Let's schedule them out in advance, And I say next year, I could schedule those. Email lists are unimportant for streamlining right now. They're not important to me right now. They're in place. We're working. It's not a big deal for me right now. In fact, it was kind of like a chore for me to do that. But one of the people from my newsletter, my email list provider, offered to remove some obsolete contacts. So those contacts that had just been there but they weren't really engaging, she offered to remove those. So that would help me out a lot. And monetizing content, I'm only using YouTube ads and Amazon affiliate links. So that's the only thing I'm using right now is when when you put ads on your YouTube videos and you use affiliate links from Amazon or other companies, that's all I'm worried about, monetizing right now. So at the end, I had a bird's eye view of what I wanted to work on, what I want to focus on, and what not to do and things like that. So that was the first iteration of the new one. Now we have the new and improved Focus Goals sheet. All right, I just printed this out just a few minutes ago before creating this video. And you'll notice that I actually added to stop doing here. 3 lines, 3 things to allow myself to stop doing. All right, there's a lot of area here. There's more lines in the next actions because you have goal 1, goal 1, goal 1, goal 2, goal 2, goal 2, goal 3, goal 3, goal 3, goal 4, goal 4, goal 4. Okay, if you have another goal. So that's kind of how I do the next actions. For each goal, what are my next actions? Here's a little fewer lines because you don't want to delegate everything, but it's a good starting place. What do I want to delegate? Some things that I wanted to delegate. I wanted to delegate transcription of YouTube videos for ebooks or something. I wanted to delegate product design. I wanted to delegate an assistant for the Bluegrass Guitar Essentials workshop, somebody to help me, deal with customers and stuff. I wanted to hire a web developer. I wanted to proof the DVD virtual assistant work and have them upload it to my DVD provider. I wanted a virtual assistant to organize the workshop. Certain things that may have been a little bit out of my league at that point, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right? So that's the to delegate, things to stop doing, and then last but not least, you have a place to put down the updates for quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Really, you should know that those are, around April, around July, around, October, or so on and so forth, each quarter of the year. But you can, and I would do this anyway, is put the date that I actually wrote the updates down, because then that allows you to see if you're on target or not. Let's say I didn't put my updates down until May, and I put the date here. Well, I know that I was a little bit off, and the next time I need to do my updates, I need to be on time. I don't need to procrastinate or postpone or anything like that, okay? So this is available, and there is a link to this in the book, Smart Focus Book 2. So for 99 cents, you can get a link to that, and you can have the entire book. It is just over 27,000 words, okay? So it's a pretty good size read. Book 1 is just over, it's been a while since I looked at it. I want to say 21,000, something like that. So book 2 may be a little bit thicker than book 1. I'm hoping to keep book 1 the same size after I reformat it. I'm kind of dreading it because I worked a long time on the cover, the print cover for this. And by the way, this is the proof version. Okay, so when this was printed out, they had initially started doing this. This has been fixed now. There's no seam here that's visible for the color mess up. But when I reformat this, I'm hoping to keep it about the same size. This is what I would consider like large print. I think it's actually 11 point, but for me, it's too big. It seems like large print. And so that's another reason why I want to go back and reformat that. But also to make it look more professional, it's not like it's unreadable. It's definitely readable, but I want to make it look more like a professional book. I think I owe it to all the hard work I've been doing to make it look so and do that. All right, so I think that's pretty much all I wanted to go over today. It's been about almost an hour. So this is, like I said, you can get this sheet absolutely free. There's a link to that in the book, Smart Focus Book 2. Head on over to ericbeatty.com/smartfocusbook2. All one word, no spaces, no hyphens, Smart Focus Book 2. And it will take you right to the pre-order link. You'll be able to upload that. And it will the way pre-orders work is you order it now, and on June 25th, when it releases, it goes straight to your Kindle. It's shot out there immediately. But this gets you in early so that when the price rises, you'll have it at the discounted price, and it will come to you immediately, okay? So you won't have it immediately. You'll have it on Sunday, but if you pre-order it now, it'll be at this discounted price, all right? So thanks so much, guys, for watching today. It's been fun. I can't believe I got this in under an hour that I got this done. So hopefully when I stop the video, everything will look fine. Everything will look okay. And that's just what's happening with me. We're making sure to stay tuned to the channel. In the next few weeks, I'll be uploading some more videos. I may just go ahead and do that today. That way it'll be over with. And I'll go ahead and schedule those for electric guitar. There's also a video I really need to upload back from the spring concert that I did with the Peachtree Bluegrass Band of an original song that we wrote and performed for the families of the students. So yeah, other than this, like I said, in way of updates for what I'm doing. The print book will be available soon. I'm going to go reformat the first book for print and Kindle, and I'm going to be starting on my album very soon. It's almost completely recorded. After that, I will be sitting down, making sure the mixing sounds okay, making sure the timing sounds all right, doing the best job I can do, and then hopefully releasing that before I get to work on book 3. And by that time, I'll be so ready and fired up to do book 3. That's what I love about this, is I finally think I figured out a way to go, is take a break, get something that you like to do, a big project that you like to do for one of your passions, set it aside, go on another big project so that you can really, and the reason I'm saying big projects is because little teeny projects, you're still not going to get completely satisfied. That's not going to really satisfy you. If you get and you use all your energy on another product, you're going to be drained, but you're going to feel good, you're going to feel accomplished, and now you can table that, and guess what? All that time you've allowed by doing a huge project and by dedicating time to a huge project, you've allowed your desire for other passions that you love to pursue start to gradually build up until you almost can't stand it no more. That is motivation enough to get done with this project so you can go on to that one, okay? So really looking forward to getting to the recording here and getting that done, and then going into book 3. And then after that, I am so stoked to finally start doing some novels based on a book series that I've been working on, okay? So that's what's been happening in my life, guys. Thank you so much for watching, for staying tuned. I don't have any guitar stuff today to show you, but like I said, in the next week or so, I'm going to be uploading and releasing some guitar videos. I always do those on Tuesdays, pretty much. Every now and then I'll release a video like today for a time-sensitive thing, just as soon as I can. So usually that's a Thursday or a Friday or something like that. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate you staying tuned, and I really appreciate you if you go out and purchase these books. Thank you so much for your support. Please leave your reviews. I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave your review on Amazon. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about the books. I'm not saying leave a positive review. I'm saying leave your honest opinion of what you thought of the book. Be honest about it. I'm not trying to, con you into saying something that you're not comfortable saying. If you thought it was crappy, say so, Hopefully not a lot of you think that, and especially if you've tried some of these things and they've really worked, man, I'd love to hear that. I've been hearing a lot of feedback from people who have enjoyed my YouTube channel, and that really just makes my day when somebody says, you really helped me achieve my goal of playing guitar better, or learning so-and-so lick, or learning how to play such and such song, or making me sound like my favorite artist, things like that. That's the fuel that adds fuel to the fire. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you subscribers. I'm almost at the 700 video mark. I've got like 2 or 3 more videos before I get 700. I might be able to do that by uploading these videos here. I might just get a little shy of that. I'm not sure. But I think I'm 11,000, 12,000 subscribers, something like that. I mean, it's been a long run. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've enjoyed the growth that I've had. I've enjoyed growing not just as a musician, but as an entrepreneur and as a writer. All these things that I have a passion for, and I want to help you achieve. I don't do that much on my YouTube video, but that's what these books are for, to help you achieve the goals that you're after in life and the passions you're after in life. So thanks so much for watching, for staying tuned. Again, before the launch day, please order. You can pre-order Smart Focus Book 2, and you can order Smart Focus Book 1 for 99 cents right now too, because it's on sale in coincidence with Smart Focus Book 2. So both available for 99 cents. Go to ericbeatty.com/smartfocusbook1 or smartfocusbook2, and it'll take you right to the download page for these. And guys, I will see you later. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you guys, and thanks so much for watching. And until next time, God richly bless you.